everyone, and welcome back to Ross Blog. I'm your host, Ross, and today we're diving headfirst into the wonderfully whimsical world of Roblox, specifically a game that has captured my attention and, quite frankly, consumed my recent hours. Grow a garden Roblox. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Gardening in a virtual world? Really? But trust me on this one, because this isn't your grandma's digital flower patch. This game is addictive, surprisingly strategic, and incredibly rewarding. In fact, over the past few days, I've embarked on a journey that I still can barely believe myself. I started with absolutely nothing, a complete noob with not a single seed to my name. And through a roller coaster of triumphs, hilarious mishaps, and a whole lot of virtual soil tilling, I managed to reach an unbelievable milestone. I made $1 trillion in in-game currency. Yes, you heard that right, a whole trillion. So buckle up, grab your virtual gardening gloves, and get ready for a tale of digital determination and horticultural hustle. If you enjoy these kinds of fun gaming adventures and want to see more of what Roblox and other exciting games have to offer, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Give this video a big thumbs up if you're excited, and leave a comment telling me about your favorite Roblox experiences. Let's get growing. My journey into the verdant landscape of Grow a Garden Roblox began, as all good stories do, with absolutely nothing. An empty plot of virtual land stretched before me, a blank canvas awaiting my green thumb, or, in this case, my enthusiastic mouse clicks. The initial tutorials were simple enough, guiding me through the basics of acquiring my first few seeds, tilling the soil, and patiently waiting for those tiny digital sprouts to emerge. I remember the excitement of harvesting my first batch of virtual sunflowers, the meager earnings feeling like a monumental achievement at the time. The early game is all about learning the ropes, understanding the different types of plants, their growth cycles, and their selling prices. I experimented with various combinations, trying to figure out which seeds offered the best return on investment and which ones grew the fastest. There were definitely some early mistakes, moments where I planted the wrong thing or forgot to water my precious seedlings, resulting in withered disappointment. But each setback was a learning opportunity, a stepping stone on the path to becoming the ultimate virtual gardener. I meticulously reinvested every earned coin, slowly but surely expanding my garden and diversifying my crop selection. The initial hours were a testament to patience and perseverance, laying the crucial foundation for the explosive growth that would follow. As I progressed, I began to delve deeper into the core mechanics of Grow a Garden Roblox. It wasn't just about planting and harvesting. There were layers of strategy involved that I gradually started to uncover. I learned about the importance of soil quality, the benefits of using fertilizers, and the impact of weather patterns on my crops. I discovered the existence of rare and valuable seeds that could yield significantly higher profits, but also came with longer growth times and a greater risk if not managed properly. The in-game marketplace became my go-to hub, a place to buy and sell seeds, fertilizers, and other essential gardening tools. I started to analyze market trends, noticing fluctuations in prices and trying to buy low and sell high to maximize my earnings. Trading with other players also became a valuable part of my strategy, allowing me to acquire rare seeds that were not readily available in the market. I spent hours researching different plant types, their specific needs, and their potential profitability. I even started keeping a mental, and sometimes actual, spreadsheet of my most successful crop rotations. Understanding these underlying mechanics was crucial in transitioning from a struggling noob to a more efficient and profitable gardener. The turning point in my Grow a Garden Roblox journey came with the realization that manual labor could only get me so far. As my garden expanded, the sheer amount of planting, watering, and harvesting became increasingly time-consuming. That's when I started exploring the automation features the game offered. I invested in robotic helpers that could automatically perform these tasks, freeing up my time to focus on more strategic aspects of my growing empire. This was a significant investment, but the increased efficiency and output were well worth the cost. With automation in place, I could significantly scale up my operations, planting larger fields and managing a greater variety of crops simultaneously. I began acquiring more land, expanding my garden further and further until it stretched across vast virtual acres. The once small and humble plot had transformed into a sprawling agricultural enterprise, a testament to the power of automation and strategic planning. Witnessing my automated harvesters diligently working away while my profits steadily climbed was a truly satisfying experience. With my basic gardening operations running smoothly, I set my sights on the more elusive and highly profitable aspects of Grow a Garden Roblox: rare and exotic plants. These special seeds were often difficult to obtain, sometimes requiring specific in-game events, challenging quests, or lucky finds in hidden corners of the game world. The risk associated with growing these rare plants was higher, as they often had unique needs and longer growth cycles, but the potential rewards were astronomical. I embarked on numerous virtual expeditions, searching for clues and participating in events that might lead me to these coveted seeds. The thrill of finally acquiring a rare seed and carefully nurturing it to maturity was immense. The selling prices of these exotic blooms were often several orders of magnitude higher than common crops, providing a significant boost to my accumulating wealth. This phase of the game felt like a treasure hunt, with each successful harvest of a rare plant bringing me closer to my ultimate goal of reaching $1 trillion. As my wealth grew, I became increasingly aware of the dynamic nature of the in-game economy. The prices of seeds and harvested goods could fluctuate significantly based on supply and demand, in-game events, and even the actions of other players. I quickly learned the importance of staying informed about market trends and adapting my strategies accordingly. There were times when a particular crop would be in high demand, offering a lucrative opportunity to sell my existing stock and plant more of that specific variety. Conversely, I also experienced periods of oversupply, where prices would plummet, requiring me to hold onto my harvest or diversify into other crops. This aspect of Grow a Garden Roblox added another layer of complexity and engagement, requiring me to think like a virtual economist and make informed decisions about when to buy, sell, and what to plant. Mastering the art of navigating these market fluctuations was crucial in sustaining my growth and eventually reaching the $1 trillion mark. The journey to $1 trillion was a long and arduous one, filled with countless smaller milestones along the way. I remember the excitement of finally reaching my first $1 million, a significant achievement that felt like a major breakthrough. Then came the tens of millions, the hundreds of millions, and finally, the coveted $1 billion mark. Each of these milestones was a moment of celebration, a validation of my hard work and strategic planning. I often paused to admire my ever-expanding garden and the steadily increasing numbers on my in-game bank balance. Sharing these achievements with the Grow a Garden Roblox community and receiving their congratulations provided an added sense of accomplishment. These smaller victories helped to keep me motivated and focused on the ultimate goal, breaking down the seemingly insurmountable $1 trillion target into more manageable steps. Finally, after what felt like countless hours of planting, harvesting, trading, and strategizing, the moment arrived. The number on my screen ticked over, surpassing the $999,999,999,999 mark and settling on the glorious figure of $1 trillion. I had done it. I had actually reached $1 trillion in Grow a Garden Roblox. A wave of disbelief and immense satisfaction washed over me. It was a testament to the game's engaging mechanics and my own determination to go from a complete noob with nothing to a virtual gardening tycoon. It felt surreal to see that many zeros on the screen, a tangible representation of the virtual empire I had painstakingly built from the ground up. This achievement wasn't just about the money. It was about the journey, the challenges I had overcome, and the lessons I had learned along the way. Reaching the trillion-dollar milestone in Grow a Garden Roblox is an incredible achievement, but the game doesn't necessarily end there. With such a massive fortune, new opportunities and challenges open up. I can now invest in even more advanced automation, acquire the rarest and most expensive seeds, and perhaps even start helping out newer players in the community. The game continues to evolve with new updates, events, and items being added regularly, ensuring that there's always something new to explore and strive for. Perhaps I'll aim for 2 trillion, or maybe I'll focus on creating the most aesthetically pleasing and elaborate garden in the entire game. The possibilities are endless, and the virtual world of Grow a Garden Roblox continues to offer exciting new adventures. Well, there you have it, folks. The incredible story of how I went from a complete noob with absolutely nothing to a $1 trillion tycoon in the amazing world of Grow a Garden Roblox. It's been an absolute blast sharing this journey with you all, highlighting the fun, the strategy, and the surprising depth that this game has to offer. From those humble beginnings with a single plot of land to managing a sprawling automated agricultural enterprise, it's been a wild and rewarding ride. If this video has inspired you to try out Grow a Garden Roblox or any other exciting games on the platform, please let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this tale of virtual triumph and want to see more fun gaming adventures right here on Ross Blog, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel for more exciting content, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a single upload. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Happy gardening!